happy Sunday. It's your girl. I am Chelsea Speaks, and we are back in the lab. Hey, man, working, man. I have had an amazing weekend thus far. Listen, I am super excited. It's a 3-day weekend for those of us that still have 9-to-5 jobs. Like Johnny Cabell. Listen, speaking of Johnny Cabell, before I go any further, I hope he's listening because throughout the whole show, I'm going to be saying different wonderful traits about Johnny, just so he feels special, because give him a round of applause. It is his birthday. We are still celebrating Capricorn season all season long. It's nothing like those Capricorns. Couldn't ask for a better business partner. So I am super excited. Jason, are you a Capricorn? Y'all Capricorns are different, man. Y'all different. But listen, I'm excited about today's show. I have two amazing guests. I got my girl Jessica Pitre from Girlfriends Inc. coming in. I'm super excited about that. And I also have, drumroll please, the real aunties of Atlanta, man. We're going to sit down, talk to them, have some good conversation. We're going to have a good time. So listen, y'all know what time it is. If you have not already, make sure you download that 101 TKO Radio app. It is available. Unlike the TikTok app, we're not going anywhere. Okay, Jason said he a Leo. Okay, Leo's in the building, strong Leos. Leos and Tauruses do good business together, so I'll rock with that. So, yeah, y'all download that 101 TKO Radio app, because unlike TikTok, we're not going to play games with y'all the way that did. You know, that whole thing went down because I don't know if y'all realize, but that was a really, really serious thing that happened. Some people are saying that it was a prank to kind of get Trump in office and kind of make him the people's savior. Not really sure how I feel about that, but from my perspective, when it comes to TikTok, I was happy that it was back because I use it for different recipes. If you're in Atlanta or anywhere, you know, when you go to the city, you're going to go to TikTok first to see, you know, what's good, what's happening around. So it served more benefits than people thought. People think that content creation is an easy job, but half of y'all don't even want to post y'all stuff on social media for y'all business anyway. So let's put some respect on content creators' names. Specifically, shout out to my girl, Nene. She did her first show this week, so I'm super excited for her. We got a lot of big things in store. So listen, I got to get ready. My guest is here. When we come back, I will be sitting down with Jessica Pitre I cannot talk today, over Girlfriends Inc. today, and it'll be an amazing interview. So you guys stay locked in. We ain't going nowhere. Let's get it.
Hey.
top of the week, unlike most people think, but I always promise you an extra special guest every time I open up my mouth. No pun intended, but listen, I got somebody very special in the building. Y'all get up, my girl, Jessica Pitre, the founder of Girlfriends Inc. is in the building. Hey, go ahead, lean in, friend. This your moment. Don't be scared.
Okay, right.
Listen, I'm super excited to sit down with you. We have quite a history. Went to college together.
Yes.
But I think it speaks volumes to see how you've grown your brand.
Thank you.
I know I have Women Are Dope, so I know how hard it is
Yes.
to build a brand. I feel like life puts you through tests to see how about that life you really are.
Okay.
So I'm excited to talk to you about the details, find out what's going on with you, and just give you a chance to share your story so that more people are aware of what you have going on and see you as greatly as I see you. So with that being said, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yay. So before you begin, we're going to play a little game, right?
Okay.
All right. So the way this game works, I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
And you have to answer the questions as honestly as you can.
Okay.
I don't care what your answer is. First thing comes to your mind. I mean, like first 3 to 4 seconds, you got to lock in.
Okay, lock in.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Nelly, you think she ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. You sure?
I'm locked in.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
First question.
First question.
Who is your all-time celebrity crush?
Ooh. I want to say Idris Elba.
Why she got to say mine now? I'm the only one.
That's my man.
Okay. You get points for that one. I love it. I'm the only one that's ever said Idris. I'm like, y'all don't see Idris when he starts DJing, the acting, and all of that.
Right.
Yes, sir. With the little goatee. Yeah.
Fine.
I'll take that. All right, you ready for the next question?
I'm ready.
All right. If you could have chosen any other career other than what you do now, what would it be and why?
I actually would pick counselor.
Really?
I wanted to be a trauma counselor, trauma therapist. And I just wanted to be able to provide a different type of touch to people to be able to help them through a lot of their difficult challenges and provide them different coping tools and different things. So I think part of that has to do with me, a lack of having that when I was younger.
Gotcha.
But wanting to be able to provide that service to other people. So definitely would have done that.
Talk about be the change you need. I know that's right, friend. Turn up. Okay, this last question. You ready?
I'm ready.
What's your favorite position?
Ooh.
Look at her face. I love this question.
You know, nothing wrong with a little back shot.
Well, come on, give a round of applause. Give a round of applause, man. That's what I'm talking about. I love to ask that question because as funny as it is, I think it speaks to everyone's humanity. Some people answer the same. That's what I would say. But I also say, well, what position are you talking about? Because if you ask me now, I'll say CEO.
I know that's right.
But it just speaks to we all normal. So I'm happy you played the game, so good job on that.
Thank you.
So let's dive into this conversation now. You have Girlfriends Inc. You're an entrepreneur, you're a mom, you are a mentor, you're a philanthropist, a lot of different things. When did this journey begin?
Okay. Whew.
It's a loaded question, right?
It's a very loaded question.
We got room.
I think the journey began for me really when I was a teenager. I really always had a passion for wanting to give back to teen girls and wanting to talk to others, inspire others. I mean, back when I was in middle school, I mean, that's a long time ago, I would be walking around with my Bible trying to give people, advice. You know, they'll come to me and ask me for prayer and stuff. We're like,
I love
13,
that.
12 years old, you know.
Come on,
and
Saints.
so I've always been like that, you know. And so I felt like as I've gotten older, the desire to inspire and make that connection with people has never changed, but maybe the vehicle behind how I've done it has changed along the way. But
I love that. So do you think that what you did growing up, like it definitely helped prepare you for the trials you endure because you have a women's brand and people don't see the things we go through behind closed doors to build a women's brand. Right. So was there anything in your childhood that was maybe trauma that you turned into triumph?
Absolutely. I mean, that's really the whole premise behind my brand. You know, I feel like when I first started out with the products and different items, it was more salesy because people maybe didn't understand the story behind the brand. But I had to get honest with myself and start sharing my testimony along the way so people would understand, like, hey, there's a reason behind it. And I can speak to it because I've been through it. I understand exactly where it took me from using different tools and ideas that I've able to provide other people as well. That's how I was able to change my own life. So I want to just encourage others, hey, if I was able to do it, you can do the same exact thing, if not more. So definitely when I was younger, I was introduced to planning at a very traumatic time in my life. Yeah. So I actually was sent to what was called a women's home in a crazy place called El Centro, California. And, you know, it was very structured. It wasn't like jail, but kind of, you know,
strict, like
very
real
strict.
Yeah.
You know, you eat at this time, go to school at this time, all of those different things. And, you know, I spent a lot of my time there being angry, being an angry teenager.
Yeah.
Why am I here? Why am I here with y'all? You know, and they had a lady come and she showed people planners, like different worksheets on helping you redirect your thoughts into focusing on your future. And that changed everything for me, because during that time I was so focused on my anger, what had happened. I never took time to think about what do I want to happen moving forward. And honestly, I tell everybody that changed the whole trajectory of my life. So if that could help me at that time, and it's helped me since then, continue when obstacles come to make positive change, use those times to overcome challenges versus be focused on the challenge themselves. So I just want to be able to let people know, hey, you can do the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's a small goal, big goal, whatever it might be. Be strategic about it and get it done.
I love that. You know, it's so interesting. I love this platform because I have a chance to sit down with people that I may have met earlier in life, and I didn't get a chance because even in college, you always had this distinct look about you that was like, you know, don't mess with Jessica. You just know, like, them eyebrows is on point, baby. Like, don't play with it. Still on point. But it's interesting to hear your story because we've all been through things.
Right.
It's interesting that you said planners, because I feel like people, when they hear planners, we tend to have a little anxiety about it, because especially Black people playing like what? So what do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions about planners just in general?
Oh, I love this conversation. I always tell people planners are not just for writing down at 9 o'clock, I'm going to eat a bagel. At 10 o'clock, I'm going to do Pilates. Planners are meant to help you set an intention. You know, you can't, it's like when you're doing archery, right? You have a target and you have you. Now, you could just get out there and just shoot. But you have to be strategic about where you're shooting. You have to have a goal. The goal is the target, right?
Yeah.
And your planner is what is helping you do that, helping you be a guide to focus your attention, your effort, your mind, your intention, everything on where do you want your mind to go? Where do you want your life to go? So it doesn't matter if it's a big goal, financial goal, personal goal, whatever it is, focus your mind and your attention on getting that done. So my planners are meant to help people be strategic about reaching their goals, whatever those things are.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that, because as you speak to it, the whole planning, you don't think about when you're in a planner, like when you're angry, that planning can help you get outside of that mental space.
Exactly.
So can you talk about like just that journey, like of really expressing the importance of planning and mental awareness?
Okay, absolutely. So I've been hosting a lot of vision board parties lately.
Give her a round of applause. She's been doing her big ones.
And, you know, I had a love-hate relationship with vision boards because people would sit down and cut the pretty pictures out, but they're not understanding the intention behind the pictures, right? Your vision board is a visual representation of what you want your life to look and feel like. And then you're breaking it down in your planner day to day with tasks that align with that vision. So it's the same principle. Your planner is meant to help you align your life, your vision, what you're doing day to day with where you want to go. So yes, of course, write down your tasks, but also write down the things you want to accomplish and see them through to completion. You know, whether it's my plan or another one, that's the whole point, in my opinion, is being strategic about your goals. If you have a savings goal, okay, I'm going to break it down into SMART goals and say, I'm going to save $5 every day. For me, when I was in this women's home, you know, I'm there in a place in El Centro, California, where you could get sex trafficked, taken. My mom was like, listen, if you leave here, you can either let juvie pick you up, or I don't know what to tell you, because I was a teenage runaway, frequently running away. And so I had an opportunity to really focus my intention on, okay, do I want to continue being rebellious in a way that's causing my own detriment because I'm focused on my anger? Or do I want to do something positive with my life and actually try to do the opposite of what people are telling me I can do and just go for it? And so I just decided to go for it.
I love that, because I feel like you're giving planners, even in my mind, a whole different spin on it, because I feel like, so everybody loves the aesthetics of a good planner.
Of course.
But then you'll go the first day, 2 days, maybe a week, and you got everything written down.
Right.
But then the minute you forget or you don't do it, there's a quiet shame that comes over you.
Right.
And now that planner, you don't pick it back up for the rest of the year, and then you buy another one at the top of the year, and now you just sitting with a deck of planners
that you're not using. Absolutely.
How do we break that shame from, not feeling or not beating ourselves up because we didn't meet our goals that day?
I think that it's breaking them down into tangible steps. That's why you have the acronym SMART, SMART goals, right? So they need to be measurable, attainable,
realistic.
realistic. They actually need to be something. Of course, I can't wait until I'm a millionaire. Okay. But the steps to getting there need to be realistic for my actual life today. Right. So I think that that's another thing. And then also remembering that we're human. It's just like having a diet or working out or anything. You have to have the discipline as well to get it done. So when people come and ask me like, what makes your planner different or whatever, I'm like, hey, I could give you all the tools in the world.
But if you don't have,
but if you have to will it and you have to have the discipline to get it done, how bad do you want it?
Wow.
And I tell people all the time, it's science. You're 42% more likely to reach your goals if you write them down. So
wow.
It's science. So do you want to write them and know that you're closer to getting to your goal or do you not? So I think sometimes it's just rewiring our brain into understanding we are capable of doing whatever we want to do. And, I break it down where in my planner, I have 3 goals for every single month. So you have 3 times 12, right? So even if you accomplish half of those through the year, you've still done more this year than last.
That's true.
Right? And you have to look back and be able to say like, hey, I came so far. I was able to, no, I didn't hit every target.
However, I did hit some of them.
It's 1% better every day. It's incremental growth that helps us also improve. Recently, I was talking to my sons, and I'm always using everything as an analogy with them, right?
Come on, Pastor.
Everything is a sermon.
Everything is usable.
Okay. So he was cleaning up, one of the twins, twin boys are 10, they're cleaning up and they're throwing away change, like these pennies and dimes and stuff like that. So, me, I come out, I'm like, y'all got money? Y'all got money. You throwing away change, right? So I bring them down there and I said, go get all that change that you threw away. So I mean, get it all and count it up. I said, they counted up. It was maybe like a couple of dollars. And I said, but see, you didn't see the value in it because you were throwing single pieces of change away, right? But when you put all that change together, it actually had value. So it's the same thing with our goals. It's the same thing with us attaining things that we want or achieving things we want to do. It's incremental growth. It's 1% here, 2% here, 1 penny here, 2 dimes here. But at the end, people, when you take your big barrel to Coinstar and dump all that out,
and it comes out with $1,000. It's heavy, but it adds up.
It adds up. Now you look back like, whoa, wow, I actually did way more than I thought I was doing. So I think also planners help us hold ourselves accountable in that good light as well, because you're jotting down what you wanted to accomplish and then going back and saying like, okay, I actually see what I did already do as well. So at the end of our each month, we also have monthly reflections. So I try to encourage people to be honest with themselves. You have to be able to hold yourself accountable. It's not between you and anyone else, but like, hey, I didn't reach my goal because I was feeling sad. Hey, I didn't reach my goal because my finances weren't there, or whatever the case might be. And then seeing how can you improve that. Like, I don't always circle happy every week in my planner. Sometimes
That's real.
I'm upset.
That's real. That's real.
Okay.
I'm indifferent. Yeah.
I'm a person, so sometimes, if you're noticing that you're circling sad 4 weeks in a row, like, hey, maybe you might need to
go
talk
get
to
some help.
somebody about that. So I think sometimes it's more of like, not necessarily a diary or a journal, but also an accountability partner for wherever you want to go.
I love that. I wish my ex would have had one of those. Listen, we're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, we got Jessica Pitre from Girlfriends Inc. The conversation is piping hot. Y'all know we got some planning for y'all to do, and most of y'all, it's still early in the year. So there's still time to get your planner, and where a better place to get it from than Girlfriends Inc. So y'all stay locked in, and we come back, we'll have more conversation. Dive in. my girl, Jessica Pitre from Girlfriends Inc. So, question, why Girlfriends Inc.?
I mean, it really started because I love saying, hey, girl.
Okay.
Hey, girlfriend.
Okay.
You know, and I think ink made so much sense with, like, stationery, paper goods, novelty items and things. So kind of a way to merge the fact that I wanted to be us building community and empowering each other, but at the same time, we do have stationary items.
I love that. I love the name, too, by the way. It's very
you.
classy and boudoir, demure, if you
Thank
will.
you.
So, I'm curious. So, digital planners, and then you have regular planners.
Yes.
Which do you prefer, to write it or digital?
I prefer to write it.
Really?
Yeah. I contemplated for a very long time about providing digital planners, but I only gave way because people are like, but I use my Apple Pencil, I use my stylus, because I'm really, really big on the science behind writing things down. Like, it literally imprints on your mind what you're, it sets it in stone in the front of your mind, and it helps you build that intention. So I don't want to become another digital product that people just have on their phone. I want people to take time out of their day to write down what do I want to do. And people ask me all the time, like, I don't have any goals. I said, and that's
your problem.
That's part of
That's
this
what's
shit.
wrong with you.
And now you need to look at this line that says, what are my goals, until your brain helps you come up with one.
Wow.
You know, so I think that that's the point. Sometimes we're inundated with so much information, and I think the thoughts can be kind of like rapid fire. You're on one video, go to the next video, you know. So I think, like, when you're sitting with your planner and your quiet time and focusing on what you really want to accomplish, I think it helps people, you know, create like a little pathway for themselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
So do you think that social media has affected people's ability to want to plan? Like, because I feel like we see the finished result of everything.
Yes.
They don't often show, like, recently TikTok has done a good job of come get ready with me a day of, but do you think that social media has maybe discouraged people from really leaning in on planning because they see the finished product and they don't want to do the work? Or do you think it's affected?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think not even just social media, but like, I don't want to say like different events, or when people see different people go to, say you're at a women's conference and you're listening to a speaker and she's saying she's a multimillionaire now, and you leave a little empowered. You're like, wow, she's amazing. I really want to do that thing. I've had so many people come to me later actually discouraged because they're like, how do I in my life
get there? Start with what I have.
How? Like, now it feels so impossible to even achieve that. So I think a lot of times people are giving out a lot of great advice. They're showing a lot of great things, but people don't have a practical tool to make that happen. And that's basically where Girlfriends Inc. comes in. I want to provide people productivity tools and tips, tricks, all of the things to help them actually marry the two things together, you know, so that you're not discouraged. You have a pathway ahead. The pathway is getting strategic about what you want to achieve. And I just think, you know, majority of people who are successful are not always doing head math. You know, we sit and we do all head math, thinking, overthinking.
Everything but doing.
Everything but doing and coming up with a plan.
That's true.
I can't think of anybody who is just on top of their game no matter what industry, and they're not just sitting there throwing things at the wall hoping it sticks. They came up with a plan. They said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Very true.
Next month, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Exactly. They had a plan. And they might make changes to said plan, but they still have one. So I just want to encourage people to do the same thing in their life.
Okay. I love that. So for you, what does a day in your life look like?
Oh,
I'm curious.
Baby.
On a good day and on an indifferent day. I'm curious.
Okay, so right now I still currently work my 9 to 5.
I feel you, friend.
Okay, so you know it's a lot of.
Do you ever feel schizophrenic? Like sometimes, like you go from being an entrepreneur to somebody's job.
All the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
But I think that right now it's what I call my character development. You know, developing that character.
Straight up.
So,
Yeah. Oh, I understand that.
Okay, but you know, so that is difficult because I kind of have my day separated into my business hours and my actual work hours, you know, and then I have mom time. So a lot of times my Girlfriends Inc. office hours don't start until later in the evening.
That's real.
But you know, by any means necessary, I just feel like when you're hungry for something, you want to get it done.
You're going to get it done.
You're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I'm at right now with it.
I want to ask you an interesting question. So a lot of people say they want to be entrepreneurs and things like that. Is there any part of you that feels like it was necessary for you to dig so deep down in Girlfriends Inc. that you didn't have a choice but to go all in? Because I feel like sometimes we have to bury ourselves in our dreams so that we have no choice but to look back. So do you feel like it was like that for you? Like, let me just go all the way in so I can never look back. Like, how was that journey for you, or how's it been?
I think that right now, of course, I'm all in on my dream, but I also believe that you have to pay your dues to your dream.
Ooh, child. And they
you know, a lot of it's expensive, and I don't think a lot of people, they want the end result of said dream, but a lot of people are not willing to pay the dues to their craft, their dues to their dream, and so that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I just feel like God gave me the vision, so He's going to give me provision, and that's basically what I lean on. You know, day to day that might look different, month to month that might look different, but as different opportunities and things come up, I'm going to trust that as I create a plan,
He's going to come through
it always does.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, it does. It does. For you, what are some challenges that you face just building Girlfriends Inc.?
You know, as a new brand, you know, always focusing on creating brand awareness, helping people understand, make that connection between like, okay, it's not just a cute planner. I actually want to teach and coach and empower. So I'm working this year really hard on providing workshops, doing more one-on-one coaching, small groups, all different types of things to kind of help people understand, hey, you can use my planner. Yes, but the principles of my planner can also be taught, which is what I'm working on as well. So I'm just kind of do a combination of it right now to create brand awareness until we catch on fire, until we're in Target.
Okay, and everywhere in between, TikTok and Amazon, all of them.
All everywhere.
Wow.
So,
So what does the creative process look like when you're creating a planner?
I kind of just think of like the principle that I want to teach. You know, a lot of it is just mindsets, coaching ourselves on mindset. A lot of people are, you know, going to therapy, which I'm proud of.
Yeah, I love me some therapy. Can we give a round of applause for therapy?
You know,
I love therapy.
Everybody, you see a therapist.
Yeah,
you know? And I think that they're leaving those appointments and doing different things, going to healing retreats and all these different things, having some practical tools. And I just want people to understand, like, those same tools and principles should be used in your day-to-day life. You know, they're not so abstract that they shouldn't be actually used in your planning journey. It's not, when people think of planners, I hate how they just think of like, okay, Office Depot, a calendar.
One, day two. You know,
I really want to come up with my own way instead of just saying a planner, because even when I tell people like, oh, okay, I have stationery, I have women's productivity tools, they're like, what does that mean?
I love that, the way you put that though, women's productivity tools. Like, that sounds like so appealing.
Yeah, because people are just, I want us to stop making this connection that planners are just calendars.
Rigid and just stiff.
My planner is more comprehensive, where it's more of a journal and a workbook along the way, if that makes sense. I want it to be your companion in life, and like I said on the front, it's made for the journey. It's made to take you through whatever journey of your life that you're going through.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you ever do you find that if you don't plan out your day, it goes haywire? Like, does it throw you all the way off? Are you like OCD with it?
Day.
Okay.
I plan what I want to do day to day, and I might have an agenda.
Okay,
but it's not so rigid that I can't go with the ebb and flow of life.
I love that.
You can't. And that's another thing. People get so stuck in, like, okay, I put in my planner that at 10 o'clock I'm doing this thing.
Yes.
But life is life, man. Like, I got kids, I have a job, I have a lot of other responsibilities. I might have to push that thing back, you know, but the thing is, am I still holding myself accountable to still get it done?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be picture perfect every time. It's just get it done.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like I hear you should have some grace with yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, we're so used to, and I think our millennial era is so used to being overachievers, and I feel like a lot of us have been made to feel like if we're not doing something, we're not being productive.
Correct.
When sometimes you got to plan rest, you need to plan a break for yourself. Like, planning is not just about doing, just I need to work on this. There's a time to plan rest and time to chill as well. Correct?
Absolutely, yes. In our weekly layout, that's an area that I have on there, self-care. And so I want to encourage people to focus on themselves. Like, what did you do for yourself? It doesn't have to be something that only costs money. You know, it can be made a therapy appointment, read a book for 10 minutes every night.
Try a new recipe,
it doesn't matter what it is, whatever self-care looks like to you. And then I want people to also practice gratitude, right? So I know when I was going through some of those challenges when I was younger, I was so focused on the lack in my life at the time. I was lacking the stability. I was lacking the love and support of my family. Right? And so I had to learn to focus on what I was grateful for. I was grateful that I learned about planning. I was grateful that I made some friends in a very random ass place.
Yeah, that's real.
I had to start focusing on forward thinking and having that literally forcing my mind to focus on those good things, because that's another thing that about trauma is like sometimes when you don't have a way to figure it out and process your own feelings, I was stuck in a loop.
I feel you. It is.
Anger.
Yeah, that's real.
And I had to force myself to get out of it. And that's how I forced myself to get out of it, was start planning what I want my life to look like.
Wow. I love that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we can get some more gems dropped from Jessica Pitre from Girlfriends, Inc. The room is hot. And don't forget, the phone lines are open, 678-439-7419. 101 TK Radio. We'll be back in a minute. I got to pay some bills.
Love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken. You're so can't you see?
101 TK already. We are back in the building. My girl Jessica Pitre, founder of Girlfriends Inc., mom, amazing woman, dope woman, and then some. And by the way, if you're listening, let me salute my business partner. It is his birthday. He got mad at me earlier. I should have put in my planner to tell him happy birthday. Maybe I would have remembered. So shout out to Johnny. I told Johnny throughout the show I'm going to give him different compliments. So Johnny, one compliment I have for you is you definitely keep me on my toes. So I appreciate that about you. You're the reason I'm gray in some of my hair, so but we'll let that be that. But listen, back to Jessica. So for you, how do you handle inspiring so many women? Because that can be a very sensitive space to be in, especially when you're trying to establish that you're here to help, but you also have boundaries. So how does that look for you?
Whew, that's a good question. You know, honestly, I always dreamed of doing this exact thing that I'm doing. Always. Since I was a child.
Okay.
And you know, I questioned if that was ever going to happen. You know, I just didn't know. It's something that I had in my heart, like what you asked me earlier, I wanted to do, but I just didn't know. Like, I was like, how is it going to happen? And what, you know, and somehow God really wove this beautiful tapestry where I still ended up doing that exact same thing that I had dreamt of through my business. So it took some time when I first started to kind of settle into the fact that that's what I'm actually doing. Because I'm just thinking, you know, when I first started the business, it started as a greeting card between my mom and I.
I remember that. Yes.
She wanted a card to give some of her girlfriends, and I made the cards, and they kept asking more. We love them. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to just simply say on the front, hey, girlfriend. That's how it started. And then Girlfriends Inc. grew from there, and then I ended up making the planners and doing different things. And then, like I said, I had to settle into the fact that along the way, I started needing to share my testimony. I started needing to talk about different things, and ended up encouraging and inspiring.
It's a part of it.
And it just came with the territory, right? And so I think for me, I just feel like God called me to do it. And so sometimes it does have a heavy burden, but it just is what it is. And I'm grateful and humbled whenever anyone asks me to share. So I think, you know, it's been some challenges with people. People can be weird. And like I told someone yesterday, we don't get to pick only the good of our gift.
Yeah, that's real. I love how you said that.
Yeah, we just don't. It's just part of it. And when you're in that type of position, you have to know that that comes with the territory, and it doesn't make it feel any better.
I'm trying to tell you,
it doesn't go away.
Yeah,
I'm a human person. I'm just a human girl.
It gets heavy. Yeah,
like everybody else. But sometimes I have to just remind myself I don't get to pick only the good that comes with my gift.
Yes,
you know, I have to take the bad with it as well. So it just.
That's a whole word right there. Like, that needs to be on a planner, because we always think about, you know, the gift being this fluffy, good feeling. It feels good all the time. But discernment is a great example. Like, discernment is something that you can't turn off. It's like having X-ray vision for the soul and the spirit. Like, it's hard for me. Like, I used to be a big partier. I have found it's extremely hard for me to go in those spots, because how I feel convicted in my spirit now, because my discernment is going to look through everything and everybody, and I'm overstimulated. Now it's too much, but it's the entirety of the gift.
It is.
So how important is it for us to use our gifts when it comes to planning? Because sometimes we tend to lean more on our weaknesses, like you said, than our strengths. So how important is it for us to really lean into our strengths?
I think it's so important. You know, I have 3 sons, like I said earlier, so I use a lot of superhero analogies.
Okay.
But I just feel like, you know, everybody has those moments, even in those superhero movies, where something happens and they have to choose, am I going to be the hero or the villain? You know, my son, my oldest, he's 18, he loves to tell me, Mom, you have a villain origin story. And
True.
You know, and I'm like, I really do.
I feel you.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I really could have chose to be the bad guy.
That's real.
You know, and a lot of people might have. And I'm just grateful that every day I decide not to do that. Like, it's a choice.
Yeah.
Every person has to decide, am I going to use my powers for good?
I'm trying to tell you.
Or am I going to use them for bad?
That's real.
And that's a choice. You can use your gift of, you know, speaking to people of exhortation. You can use it to build or to cut people down.
Or tear them down.
You have to use your powers for good. So I think that when it comes to planning, I also encourage people to have like a personal mission statement that they help themselves kind of align their character and how they want their integrity to look. All of those things, that's what your vision board is. That's what your mission statement, all these things go hand in hand. Your vision board, your mission statement, how you govern yourself, what you're working on, who you talk to, how you behave. All of those things should mirror each other.
Yeah.
You know, so you shouldn't be, in my mind, saying like, I'm a kind person, but I go around and ask 10 people and everyone's like, she's really
not that
nice. You know, like, you're thinking it should align.
Yeah.
So I just think that when people get intentional about their lives, who they are, wanting to improve and grow, all those things, I think that they'll see that naturally in themselves. Like, if you're actually taking time to think and you're writing out in your monthly reflection at the end of the month, hey, you know what? I kind of really need to work on this.
Yeah.
Hold yourself accountable. You know, it's a lot of uncomfortable,
little uneasy spots. Yeah.
But conversations you might have to have with yourself, but that's where growth happens.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to grow if you can't get honest about with yourself. So
y'all need to get honest. I mean,
get honest
with yourself. Get honest with yourself. Next time I go on a date, get honest, sir.
Get honest.
I love that because we don't think about it in planning. Because sometimes I think going in, I'm planning for the person I want to be,
right,
and not the person I am. And thinking, okay, today, Chelsea, you need to drink more water. Like we go from 0 to 100, and it's like I'm supposed to be superwoman. And I think too, as a culture, we do so much of telling people you have to be strong all the time. Like, well, you got it, girl. You got. Sometimes it's okay to just be like, I ain't got it today.
I don't got it.
I ain't got nothing for you.
I don't have the capacity.
I'm full all the way.
I'm done. Cooked.
Wow. So what does your self-care routine look like as a planner?
Oh, wow. My self-care really is just quiet time. You know, I think when you have a lot going on, you're constantly thinking on the move. I have to sit in some silence sometimes, quiet my mind, and really just allow myself to exist. Not try to do anything productive, not trying to say anything positive.
Yeah.
Today sucks.
It is what it is.
You just want to just be honest about what you're going through in that moment, you know? And I think for me, that just looks like having a little quiet time, a little peace.
I love that.
Setting aside time to just like phone on D&D, not on social media, kids, mom needs 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And focus on me, literally. And that's why I think also therapy is great, because that is dedicated time for people to focus on yourself.
Real.
You get to talk about yourself.
Like,
you're paying somebody just to listen to you talk about yourself. Only you.
That's luxury to me.
That is. And honestly, sometimes we get so busy that's the only time that you have to do that. You know, and it's actually really productive to be able to do.
I love that.
That's my little therapy plug for people.
I know that. Y'all get some therapy. You heard what she said. She said get some therapy. So what's next for Girlfriends Inc.? What's coming up in 2025? What can we look forward to?
Oh my God, so many amazing things are happening. Like I said, we're hosting a lot of different workshops that people can be on the lookout for teen girls.
Okay.
One-on-one coaching for women. Lots of different women's empowerment events. Last year in November, we hosted our first the Sunset Soiree.
I love the name.
Thank you. And basically, the end of the year's event basically was like an ode to ourselves. You know, we worked so hard throughout the year to be productive, accomplishing our goals. I wanted a time where we dedicated to saying, like, you know what, cheers to me.
Yes.
Because I actually am here in November. I made it. You know, and I shared very transparently in the event. I'm like, there are some people here I know that didn't know that they were going to personally be here. They didn't want to be here at the beginning of the year. And they're here, and it's all the way in November. Congratulations to you. I'm proud of you. You know, sometimes we don't take those times
we
to
really
say,
don't.
hey, you know what? I wanted to give up.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I really should be proud of myself. So I just want to host different events that have meaning. You know, of course, I love getting cute and having a good time, but I wanted to also contribute.
Purpose.
Yeah, have purpose. I'm very big on that. And so, like I said, with planning, plan purposefully. You know, live purposefully. Like, do things that align with who you want to be, your highest self.
I love that. Yeah. I have one more weird question.
I love weird questions.
And this is something, this is my personal question. I always ask one personal question from my personal website. Do you ever feel like moving in purpose makes people look at you like you think you better than them?
Oh, I just was talking about this before I got here.
Because I feel it in my spirit because I even put on my Instagram, bougie by faith. It's my faith that makes me bougie. So can you speak to that real quick?
Listen, favor ain't fair.
Girl.
You know, it's come up the past 2 days. Actually, today I was just talking about it literally before I got in here, and yesterday as well. And I was saying, you know, people can look at somebody and say, I wish I was like this person, but you don't know the hell that person fought through. People do not know the hell that I fought through to even be here in this moment.
At this point.
And though I'm grateful for those times only because they built me, and that was my character development for God to use me for his glory. But at the same time, I think sometimes we just have to, you can't take the bad and not the good, or the good and the bad. There's a yin and yang to both sides. So I just think it's, you know,
it's part of the territory. It comes with it. But it's a normal thing to go through when you're moving in purpose. I think we need to spend more time telling people that uneasiness, that discomfort, that disconnection, that separation that you feel when you're moving in purpose and moving intentionally. It's normal to feel that.
It's 100% normal. And I was just saying before, you know, sometimes elevation requires separation. That's very real. Ooh. A lot of these sayings and expressions, that people say, you know, we don't think that they really have the weight of meaning that they do. That's 100% a fact. Everybody can't go with you.
Woo.
Everybody can't go.
Everybody
Can't go on the journey, even if you want them to.
Oh.
You pray, God might remove them. He might bring them for a season. You have to take it all in stride.
In stride.
You got to take it all in stride.
In stride.
And I think, you know, we can't see it at the time because we don't have the whole blueprint, but God does. So at the end of the day, I just try to trust, like, hey, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do my part.
I'm honestly just as shocked too when the opportunities and different things come. I have a crazy story real quick. I was at an event, and this was around Christmas time. We were playing these games, and you know, we were passing it was like the game where they read the story, and then on certain parts of the story it says left or right. You have to pass the gift back and forth. So the first round I won. They played again. They started a complete different person on the other side of the table. More people got added, said the story again, and I won again. And there was a girl sitting next to me, and I tried to give her my gift, and she gave it back to me and said, no, God said it is for you. I felt bad, because this is the question you asked me, so I want to be honest. I felt bad that I received the gift. And I don't think people always understand. Like, sometimes when you're doing what you're called to do,
it don't feel good.
Out serving, it's not always, sometimes we also feel bad because we feel like we're operating in abundance and maybe somebody else might have needed. I literally was trying to push it to her, like, please take it, because I felt embarrassed. I felt like that's too much for me. And she said, no, God, this for you. This is your season. So people have to understand, like, you know, you're looking at somebody else and what they have going on, but you don't know the hell that they fought through to get there. You don't know what God has planned for them. You don't know if God is going to use that person to bless you. That's why, you know, comparison is a thief of joy. You have to know your lane, know what you're working on, know what you're, how you're governing yourself, and just keep your hands at 10 and 2.
I love it. We all have a lane. Stay in yours. Get out mine. Get out mine. I love it. And I'll say to end with this. I almost liken it to that scripture, Psalms 23. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Oof. When we say that, it sounds like, oh, he prepares a table. But baby, have you thought about what is eating in front of your enemies and them gnashing their teeth? Like, to be blessed is as much of a responsibility coming as it is going.
It is.
And it's a mantle to carry, and I think that you are doing a wonderful job in doing that. So I want to continue to encourage, uplift you, support you, let you know that whatever 101 is doing, you definitely have a home here. If you need to come get some off your chest, you got any products you want to drop or whatever. No, I won't charge you every time you locked in now. And I'm excited to see what you do, because my brand, Women Are Dope, is all about aligning with women who are just doing dope things. I never wanted to be like boss babes of the world. It was I just wanted to be myself. And I think that the more I lean into it, the more I am privileged to be around women like yourself, who my wingspan doesn't affect you standing next to me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think 2025, more of us are coming to the forefront. So I'm excited for you. I love what you're doing. I'm going to be getting my planner. So I'm excited about that. So can you drop your social media handles? Tell us how we can connect with you, work with you, support you.
Yes, you can find us on social media on Girlfriends Inc. on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, since they brought it back up. And everything else, girlfriendsinc.com. And, you know, I love building connection with people genuinely. So, you know, I tell people, DM me. I'm not that person that does not reply back.
I respond quickly.
It's really me. You're really talking to me, you know. So I love that. So definitely look out for the other events and workshops that we're going to be hosting as well.
I love that. I love that. Well, whenever you need a platform to let me know about your events, let us know. We also do blasts and things as well. So any shout outs, anybody you want to say thank you to? I know your assistant is here. Any last little minute, you know, hello, thank you. You want to say?
You know, I just want to thank God for doing his big one.
Wow.
And that's really it.
I love it. That says it all right there. Well, listen, y'all stay locked in. My girl, Jessica Pitre, founder and CEO of Girlfriends Inc. She is all that and then some, but go find out for yourself. Head over to that website right now and head over to the Instagram so you can get connected. Plan your life and get it right. I'm your girl. I am Chelsea Speaks. We'll be back in a minute. Let's go.
I'm focused, man. Tell Stout that.